through our veins. Sitting in the bleachers in the rain. We've shed a million tears and drank as many old-style beers out at the game. Let's go, Cubbies, on Ranto.
Michael Cotton.
Son Ranto.
Michael Cotton.
Son Ranto and the lovable Lucy.
Lucho Scali.
Son Ranto.
Michael.
Son Ranto.
Cotton.
Son Ranto and the lovable Lucy.
Michael Cotton.
Son Ranto.
Lucho Scali. Son Ranto.
Come on, not so loud. I've got a hangover. Hey, welcome to the Son Ranto Show. My name's Danny Rocket. I've got no voice, as you can hear right now. The result of a pretty incredible weekend. The voice you just heard was part of that weekend, Michael Cotton, who's screaming in my hungover face. And we have Reds enthusiast and comedian Billy DeVore from the new Nasty Boys here to take a look at what's going on in this weird middle of the season. So welcome, Billy, to the Son Ranto Show.
I wouldn't call this the end of the season. I would say this is the point where you have taken the dog to the vet. You know what's going to happen when they put him on the table.
And teeth cleaning.
Thank God. Now that the family dog's been around 14 years. It's time. Okay.
Yeah.
At least it feels like it's been 14 years.
Yeah,
Sure. Yes.
yeah. Put down Old Yeller or old Red, I should say.
Rosie.
Old Rosie. This show is brought to you by our 106 Patreon supporters. Thanks for supporting the show. You guys freaking rock. Without you, we don't do this show because it would be a waste of our time. And and those Patreon people, they are eligible to win a monthly prize. What that monthly prize is, I just decided it's this Wilson Contreras print made by Matt Kammerer. It'll be sent to one lucky Patreon supporter right now. So if you want to have the chance to win a monthly prize, you should become a Patreon patron, and you also get extra podcasts. But I'm going to bring up the Wheel of Names.
Ooh.
And what we're going to do is we're going to pick one name. I'm spinning it now. Here we go. It's so
fun with all those names.
It really is. It's a lot of names. John Pincus, the winner of the Wilson Contreras print. Congratulations, John. We were just hanging out this weekend at Nice Lounge. Boy, did we have a good party. That was fun. Bleacher Bum Band played. A lot of people showed up. Sarah Sanchez was there. Man, what a freaking weekend this was. Like, you know, I posted on Twitter the other day that this has been, and I put this picture up of you and me, Michael, and on Twitter, and with the caption, it's been a pretty fucking fun year considering, because this is not a great baseball team. They're not 500 even. And, but you know, I had a hell of a good time with all you guys. Like, you know, everybody that came out, like there's Bleacher Jeff singing karaoke. I was hanging out a little bit with Hologram Harry, although he says he's not a hologram. I don't believe him. I saw the Field of Dreams game. I know what's going on. We had a huge smorgasbord in the bleachers yesterday. Everybody came out for the potluck, and you know, just all my friends were there. You know, Ian Happ signed Bleacher Jeff a baseball and threw it up to him in the stands, just like total class act.
Ian Happ's mom actually came down at the very beginning of the game because she wanted to see Ian. It was actually Ian's mom, his fiance, and his fiance's mom all sitting down right in front of Bleacher Jeff, and you know, she came and like literally said hello to him so that they could watch Ian Happ come out on the field the last time.
That's
cool. That's awesome.
I mean, so just the vibes are there for the Cubs right now. I mean, and check this out. Like, I got to give a huge shout out to Roberto Ramos, aka Captain Cubbo, because he went above and beyond in the realm of fandom by making me. Well, first of all, this is brilliant. I got to show the whole thing. So he makes this sign, and for the podcast listeners, it's one side says "Thank you, Cubs," the Ranters. The other side says Captain Cubbo wants to thank the best fans in baseball. Now, this is actually two poster boards stuck together. And the reason he did it this way was to make an envelope in which he snuck in an illicit item that never would have gotten past gates for it being, prohibited. And what it is it, and I'm pulling it out here, podcast people, is a giant beer snake chopper. It's a huge hand, a novelty hand, like even bigger than your average foam finger, wouldn't you say? And what it is designed to do is chop beer snakes in half. So yesterday, and I'll play the video at the end of the show. There's a video that I've not released yet that our friend Paul took, and Michael's got a bunch of pictures that I'm actually currently downloading, but I'll get those up. They're definitely calendar material, but I went up to that snake and I talked to the guys that are making the snake because I didn't want any problems. I didn't want to go over there and make it a thing where I'm just like going to randomly, not like the first time I did it when I got like swung at in the face. This time, I went up there and I explained what I was going to do. I'm going to chop your snake in half. They're going to come take it from you anyway in the bottom of the 8th inning. So I'm coming for it. And let's just do it this way. And I chopped and I chopped. And unfortunately, because they knew it was coming, they held it together too hard, because they just pressed that thing together. And I couldn't chop it in half. I couldn't find a weak spot on it. You really need to, you need to ambush them. It's really
the first time they had no clue you were going to do that. Nobody was holding it tight. It worked out well, but you did eventually get it, right?
Well, I had to go up. They weren't expecting up. And then,
I think up is actually good because then you get to see the cups fly into the air.
Yeah. Well, the usher didn't like that, but he was also very understanding.
He did not like that at all.
He came over and I'm like, I'm really sorry. Trust me. I've explained to them. This was an exhibition. This was an exhibition cup wrangling. And, we don't mean we're not getting into fights because the usher knows he's not wrong. This situation causes fights, but it wasn't going to do that in this situation. So I explained that to him anyway.
Well,
it was freaking awesome.
At least you had a treaty at the end of the year,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
and
we signed the treaty, but I'm going to violate that treaty next
we
year.
We didn't cause a fight.
Exactly.
Yeah, we didn't cause a fight, but as soon as we left, the guy started trying to put the beer snake back together. And then some old just asshole lost his shit and was like yelling at the guys. And one of the kids was a Sox fan. He was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Like, then it got all kind of crazy, but we were away from that when all that started. And then when we saw it start, we got further away from it.
We got further away. We're like, oh, shit. That fight's our fault. So let's get out of here.
Yeah, smart.
It reminds me of the time I was in New York City, and there was two cabs, and it was pouring snow. It was a blizzard, and there were two cabs, and they were both going down Amsterdam Avenue, going north. And me and my friends were all drunk in the streets, and we're throwing snowballs at cars like you do, like because we're 25 going on 12 or something like that. And so that's what we're doing. And so we hit one of the cabs with a snowball. Well, the guy stops the car. We're like, oh shit, he's gonna come back and shoot us. So, but then another cab that we were also hitting with snowballs, they stop and they get out of the car. And they thought that they had hit each other. So the cab drivers start fighting in the street in this snowstorm. So what do? We pelt the dudes fighting with snowballs. We're like, you idiots. You're not against each other. You're against us. But
and I love that both of them thought that somehow these guys were driving around with snowballs in their cab.
I don't even know that they really clocked what happened, but but it was wild. So we caused that fight, got the hell out of there. But I got to show you this picture.
Oh,
now
that's
this
great.
is just we're at Murphy's after the game. We got Bleacher Jeff, Hologram Harry, Captain Cubbo. I mean, that's a lot of fandom in one picture.
It really is, but I think the thing that really jumps out to me is that only two of them are in costume.
I don't know.
That's just Jeff.
Yeah, that pretty much
was so good. Danny and Billy just Wait, what? What? And then,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I was
then
like,
they
yep.
realized.
I don't
Jeff,
know. Like, I mean,
as a
I don't
human,
know
looks
if
like
that's
he's
a
in
costume or not. I mean, because technically you could go as Bleacher Jeff for Halloween and everybody would know who you are. So, but it is because that is a Bleacher Jeff costume.
Right.
Hey, man,
Yeah,
we
he's-
always have to put on a costume to get through the day.
Exactly. I'm just wearing a mask, man. I'm always putting on a different mask.
I just have to hide it from everyone.
So,
I had to do a quick shout out to Bernie Barron. Met her yesterday. And she says, Bernie says, I spilled beer on Ian's Hap fiance.
yeah. Well, that's hilarious
It's
because
hilarious.
well, I mean, it was that kind of weekend. I think there was a lot of beer spilled. I know there was definitely a Bleacher beer that got spilled in the first row. Mullet Man had a beer spilled, unfortunately. That's a $15 beer. That hurts when you spill that beer in there. So, all right. Well, the Cubs swept the Reds at Wrigley. They've swept their last two series. They beat the Phillies too. They've won 7 in a row, which is which is the longest winning streak of the year. Finishing strong, 11 of their last 12 games. So, and now the Reds are the exact opposite way. They're 9-21 in September right now. The Cubs have, they've won the season series at this point. They're 10-6 versus them. That sweep did it. And you got swept by us. You got swept by the Pirates, and you lost 3 or 4 to Milwaukee before that. So just like a total shit show. You're 60-99. It's just rough. Like what, Billy?
I got confused. I almost said nice.
You scored. I know it was close, but here's the question though. I mean, you started the season just terrible. Then you kind of picked it up, made a bunch of trades at the deadline. Then now it's just dog shit again. Like, what is going on with it? I mean, when you trade your top 2 starting pitchers, which you were going to do anyway, and getting great returns, also trading away your hottest bat in Brendan Drury, you're trading away Tommy Pham just to get him out of the clubhouse so we can stop smacking opposing teams in the face.
Right. They knew fantasy football season was coming up. They had to get him out of there.
Yeah, let's get him to a place where football isn't on the line. So we'll just move him up towards New England. And then you just didn't do anything with your bullpen, and you were already an anemic offense to start, and the only hot spots you had after Brendan Drury were Donovan Solano. Your starting catcher and your starting first baseman are out for the year, which has been the best content because Joey Votto has been in the booth, and it's been amazing.
Joey Votto is really good. I love actually listening to Joey Votto, and I saw that he did a thing where he got the Clemente Award, but then he threw on someone else's Reds jersey and just started walking around the stadium.
Yeah, Barry Larkin signed one for him while he was in the booth, and then Larkin put it on and walked around and talked to all 15 fans that were there.
Right.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that combined with the fact that you only have 2 pieces, maybe 3 that are solidified for next season that are playing. Yeah, and this is the most injured players the Reds have had in the season on the IL. I mean, it's just hit after hit after hit of being bad, and the plan at the deadline was to basically trade everything, tank, and shoot for 2024. So,
yeah, I mean, right now, you're tied with the Pirates for last place. I don't know who the Pirates are playing right now.
I'm looking it up now, Danny.
Yeah, to see like if you have a shot. I mean, the Reds and the Cubs before this season, before this last series, were actually just 1 game apart. The Cubs were only a game ahead, so it's not like we've just been playing tough all year. But I did want to see
playing St. Louis.
Oh well, and
for their last 3 games in Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pujols will get to 708 while he's there.
Exactly.
He'll keep throwing him Nerf balls.
Yeah, and I mean, I looked at a couple of things about like going into this last series about if there's any like milestones or that just like in the season stats, team stats that if anything interesting could happen for either of our teams. The Reds have scored one more run than the Cubs this year. They're 22nd and 23rd in the majors. So this is for all the marbles to see who scores more runs. They're also Reds have one more home run than the Cubs, 155 to 154. They're 18th and 19th. So this is going to be a real battle to the end. The Cubs need to hit 7 more triples to take the season lead in triples. I don't think that's going to happen, but 31 triples for the Cubs this year, which is kind of a lot when you consider that.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
It's been amazing, especially like over the last 2 months. There have been a ton of triples.
Well, you guys
Brandon Reyes has 2 of them.
And that's insane.
That's what's insane. Yeah, that's
that Haas ended up on 3rd after being the batter's box. No way. I don't believe you. I just don't.
Well, the Yankees only have 8.
Well,
8 triples. They're a big lumbering,
Yeah, they have mostly geriatrics on the field.
Yeah. So and then the Cubs, they're only ahead, or I should say behind. Well, it is actually ahead. They have less caught stealings than the Rangers and Rays, so they're technically like behind, but they're also ahead because that's a bad stat. But so they just need to not get caught stealing, like at least 4 times. So they've got like 2 or 3 caught stealings that they can do. Cubs can run a little rampant. The Reds though are right there too. In fact, the Reds are way worse because they don't really steal that many bases either. They just get caught a lot. They get caught about 50% of the time that they run. Yeah, and the Cubs, it's more about like 25%.
And 2/3 of those are on Aristides Aquino. That guy's a buffoon on the base paths. Here's the thing that I'm looking forward to: if the Reds get swept, which fingers crossed, I hope they do.
Got a straight 6-game sweep at the end of the season.
Oh, if they get swept, that means they will have lost 102 games, which is the most ever in franchise history.
Wow.
Sign me up. I've had this written. I have a whiteboard where I keep track of the Red season and like what Lee and I pick and Alicia and Alicia's dad pick for beginning of the season, win and loss totals. Last year I was right on the money. This year, not even close. You
weren't seeing 102 losses in your
No, I wasn't. I was on the optimistic side. So I had 76 wins. So
that's what
that's you.
Do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
maybe if we win these 3, we do.
Well, on the bottom of the whiteboard, I wrote, if you're going to be bad, be historically bad. And if I can have that come to fruition, I'm really happy. Like
that's not quite the poster in the Newt Rockney poster at Notre Dame, right? Play like a champion today. No, instead it's if you're going to be bad, be historically bad. Everybody hits it on the way out.
Play like dog shit, and then you just hit it. Oh man, it's bad, and it's been bad. The ballpark is bleak. Every person I talk to, it's been bleak. The only thing that's been fun is me doing the Sky Rosa thing. That's about it.
I should put that in your bio at the beginning of the show. And inventor of the Sky Rosa.
I did not make it. I need to so it's been a thing for 15 years and no one's ever done what I've done, which is just like go talk to people and make it.
So you're the PR machine for the Sky Rosa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is PR is short for pepperoni for sure.
Pepperoni and red sauce.
Oh, yum, yum, yum. But like, I was talking to a buddy and he found the guy who did originally make it 15 years ago in an Instagram post from 7 years ago, like, hey, I made it. And then he did some research. So this offseason, I'm going to film a doc finding the original guy who made the Sky Rosa. Yeah.
What's it going to be called? Like Finding Sky or
Finding Rosa?
Finding Rosa.
Yeah.
Well, I got a couple of things you can cheer for, Billy, though. I got a few pitching stats for you. Well, one more hitting stat, though. The Cubs need only 2 more points on their OPS to hit 700 on the OPS.
Wow.
For the year. So, nice round number there.
And, that's above average.
It is. It's
So-
right around average. It's right around.
I thought
there.
average this year was 643 because of how awful. Well, I mean, I feel like they started using juice balls this last month to really offset everything that else was what was going on.
Well, the Padres are at 700, and they are 15th in the league.
okay.
So I mean, I don't. That's not necessarily average, but it's the mean for sure.
Okay. I'll
the-
take that.
Cubs are 17th. They're right there, only a point behind the White Sox. So that's something for the Cubs to root for too, as the White Sox totally shit the bed this year so bad, and it's caused us a lot of joy over here on the north side. Not only are we vibing with a bad team and having a good time, but the White Sox, who were supposed to win, their season went to freaking shit, and it just and so we're having a good time losing. We're gonna win and lose about the same amount of games. They're gonna be ahead of us, but it doesn't matter. Like they drew less fans.
Yeah, and I love how Tony LaRue says retiring with a medical condition.
Well, that should have
It's-
already happened. It
No
was called
kidding.
being too old. His medical condition before he even got hired was being too old to manage a baseball team. That
Yeah.
never should have happened.
Yeah, his toupee is older than most of the players on that roster. Like it didn't ever click or make sense.
So here's something you can root for. The Reds have a 483 team earned run average. That's third worst. So you gotta keep that under 5. I think that's your goal here. You just want to not give up 5 runs a game. Good luck.
No, our bullpen's going to do it. Wait till we allow Ian Gabolt and Buck Farmer. Boy, howdy. The stalwarts of the future of the Reds bullpen.
So here's a stat we can both kind of root for, is that the Reds have given up 208 home runs this year. The Cubs have given up 206 home runs. Only the Nationals are ahead. So what we
Whoa.
have to do, both of our teams have to keep it in the ballpark to not have given up
That's-
the most home runs.
Well, it's a good thing we're going to Cincinnati,
Yeah.
known for keeping the ball in the ballpark.
Actually, it is like 60s, like low 60s here, so it will stay in the ballpark. We're good. Once it gets above 75, 76, 77, I mean, it does fly out.
Yeah,
but
I saw it gets chilly at night right there right now, down in the 40s, even colder than it is here in Chicago. So maybe even unseasonably cool for you guys at this time of year, at night anyway. But they're going to get these games in. I saw it's not going to rain the next few days.
Yeah.
So they're going to play. And I think both today and tomorrow at 6:40, this game starts in 17 minutes. And then the 6:40, is that the start time?
yeah, I can't wait to watch Monday Night Football.
What? You're not tuning in to the Hunter Green experience?
Actually, I do have some Hunter Green stats for you if you would like to hear those.
I've seen
'Cause
he's been good lately, if it has something to do with that. Because
it is that he's been good. In his first 10 starts, 48 innings pitched, 6.19 ERA, 12 Ks per 9, 4.5 walks per 9 with 2.8 homers per 9. And then his last 13 starts in 71 and 2/3 innings, he's got a 3.64 ERA, 3.48 FIP, 11.6 Ks per 9, and 2.9 walks per 9 with 1.1 homers per 9. Thanks to Late Night Reds Talk for that fun stat.
different pitcher. I mean, almost completely. The Cubs have gotten to him this year, but it was earlier in the season. They got 8 runs over 9 innings pitched, and then but I saw he struck out 11 against the Cardinals and 10 against the Pirates. So he's missing a lot of bats too right now. So
Well, he's got control of his fastball. He's elevating it, and then he's just fooling people with his slider. I mean, I'm excited to see what he does in the offseason. I think he's really going to work on his changeup, so he could be a deadly 3-pitch dude that is going to be nasty in the NL Central for the next 5 years.
I mean, he's one of those guys that you look at and just the eye test, you're like, oh, this guy's going to be tough. And then he wasn't, but he's young still. I mean, how old is he?
22.
Oh, that's real young.
Yeah. Wait till he develops a 2-seamer, dude. I mean, if he can get more movement on 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, just like Luis with his 2-seamer. I mean, he now has 12 inches of break.
Wow. Yeah, and speaking of breaking ball, Hayden Wesneski, that's actually more of a slider that he throws, but he's our young phenom pitcher that we got from the Yankees in the trade for, who was that? Oh, it was Efros.
Frost.
Efros.
That was such a weird trade. It didn't make sense to me, but
Well, I mean, it's going to work out for us, it looks like, because, I mean, Scotty F for us,
Yeah.
I mean, he's a very good reliever, and I think he's like, I don't know if he's closing games for the Yankees or how that's working, but he's was great for us, and that's why he had value. But to get a starter like Hayden Wisniewski, he pitched in his first game against the Reds at Wrigley Field and struck out 8 through 5 innings. And he's just, I mean, it's been somebody like, I am going to watch this game tonight because he's pitching.
Right.
And I'm going to watch it instead of listen as well, because I want to see him pitch.
Right.
But yeah, he was good against the Phillies last time, although he only struck out 3 that time. But that's a swinging offense, and they connect a lot. So then it looks like there's Javier Assad and Luis Chesa. Is it Chesa or Sessa?
Sesa.
Sesa.
Who a pleasant surprise, honestly. We got him last year from the Yankees, along with Justin Wilson, and they're stretching him out, and it's with some success enough to be like, I'm surprised. I mean, that's when he pitched against you guys, and TJ Freeland center field had like 3 errors, and it was like he went 6 1/3, 3 earned runs, 3 hits, and he didn't. I mean, he got charged with the runs when that shouldn't have happened.
Well, he struck out 8 through 5.2 against us too.
That's it.
At Wrigley. And then
That's the game I'm talking about.
Yeah, and Assad, this might have been the same game, but he gave up 4 runs on 5 hits, and against the Reds, this is one of his worst outings that he had. Gave up homers to Aquino and Fraley, and but he was really good against the Phillies. No runs on 5 hits, so he's been a surprise for us. You probably never even heard of the guy, Javier Assad. We hadn't either.
Yeah,
he wasn't,
none of us.
No Cub fans. Like even guys that watch the minor league teams, I don't think had heard of Javier Assad. All of a sudden, he's just up.
Was he just a dude who's been in AAA floating around?
Yeah,
that's what we're dealing with. Like with Fernando Cruz, I think he's 31, and he got called up.
Assad's younger than that.
Okay,
yeah, he's actually a younger guy, and I don't know if he was at AAA. Was he, Danny?
He might have gotten there. I'm looking right now. He was at I know he's worked his way through the system this year, like quite a bit. Like, yeah, he was in Tennessee and then Iowa.
Oh, wow.
Happened with him.
So he did make it up there.
Double the triple, but he really put it together. Like he pretty much halved his ERA in a year. So it's something he was playing in the Mexican League. He was in Tennessee. And then yeah, he just kind of, these guys, sometimes they just put it together. So like this year he's been really good. He's got a 2.66 ERA overall between AA and AAA. So they brought him up and he's got a 3.62 in the big. So you're going to take that in the 32 innings he's pitched. I mean,
yeah. And he came out good. Then he struggled. And now he seems to be back to like, okay. So it's like, he's kind of battled through a little bit of the, first year issues.
Yeah. And then the last game is going to be Adrian Sampson. Also shocking because the peripherals are not there for him. If you look at, what his ERA should be and what it actually is of 3.10, and has been a really durable pitcher. He does it without striking out guys, but he doesn't walk a lot of dudes either, but just pitching to contact. And it's not, and the BABIP gods are with him somehow, and that's just how it's been, and nobody trusts it still, even after an entire year of it.
Yeah, and he goes deep into games. He's only got like a 4-5 record, but the Cubs are always in his games, and he's like 100 and almost 102 innings pitched over 20 games, which not a big deal in the old days, but that's over 5 innings a start,
for a back end guy, which is
a 30-year-old, basically bullpen arm, like doing, or not bullpen, a BP arm, a guy that's like gonna warm the kids up before the game. Got called up and just has been really good.
And then
when you're
in
this situation, you just want to eat innings to get through the year, you know.
And that's what he's done, but he's done it really, really well, and it shocked everybody. And then the Ashcraft, and this is a rematch of what just happened on Friday.
Yeah, those two were against each other. Yeah.
Yeah, so Graham Ashcraft, who's just been really bad against the Cubs this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's given up 17 runs through 11.1 innings.
Yeah, you guys are
three
his
starts.
weakness. You're
Yeah.
his weakness. I mean, I don't get it. He's looked really good all year, and like he's that guy where I'm like I've penciled him in as like the new 3-headed monster moving forward, because he gets a lot of contact, weak ground balls, but for some reason he sees that blue C on the chest and just gives up dangers.
Shits his pants. Yeah, and Adrian's been the opposite, giving up 4 runs in 17 innings pitched against the Reds. So it's been mostly good, and they've seen each other a lot. So, and that's what's going to freaking end this whole season. I mean, as
Thank
far as
God.
the series that we just saw, the Reds aren't hitting. They only had 1 run in each of the games. Cubs put up 8 in one, 6 in the other, and then there was the squeaker of 2-1. Cubs are not hitting a lot of home runs, but they are hitting like a lot of doubles and stuff like that. They are slugging it. The Reds are walking tons of people, like that Chase Anderson outing where he only goes
God, that
0.1.
first inning was rough.
Game was
10
over quick.
I think it was 10 batters came to the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they batted around. So in the first inning. So that just got, so now your bullpen's exhausted because they just you threw everybody yesterday. Like I did have the box scores. I'll just put up this one, but you had 6 guys out of the pen.
1/3 of an inning for Anderson. Good outing.
And there's only one of those dudes that is going to be in the Reds bullpen next year for sure.
Which one?
San Martin.
2 innings pitched, no strikeouts, 1 walk, but clean. But a 6.11 ERA, but they believe in him.
Yeah, I think that's a little inflated. If you look at since he came back, his inherited runners who scored, I think is like it's like a 0.12. It's something silly, but he's been a lot better coming out of the pen and being a stretch dude. I'll pull it up on Fangraphs.
Danny, you just posted this box score and it clicked in my head. At the end of that game, the video board people did not take Strickland's name down as the pitcher when the Cubs came in for the bottom or for the top. And I remember looking up there and like, who the fuck is Strickland? And I was like trying to look at the field, like trying to see who was out there. I was trying to figure that out so much. And then you just posted it up there, but like, oh, it's the Reds' last pitcher.
The Reds guy. That was our guy. At the end of that game, I was not too sober, so I wasn't
neither were the scoreboard operators. There's fucking leave Strickland up there.
Well, but did you hear that I got on the video board with that giant cup snake hand?
I saw you on the video board, and I'm pretty sure I told you that.
Oh, you told me.
You may not remember.
I don't know what's going on. So it should be, it's going to be an interesting last 3 games just for the things that we're fighting for, just trying to not suck as bad as we might otherwise.
The Joe Madden try not to suck is taking on a whole new
exactly.
whole new meaning now.
Really, we mean it this time. But here's one more stat about walks. The Reds will lead the majors in walks. It looks like they have 16 more than the Royals, and they have given up 69 more walks than the Chicago Cubs.
Nice.
Very nice.
If you take out the September 16th appearance against the Phillies, San Martin since August 1st has given up 5 earned runs in 18 2/3 innings pitched, or 17 2/3.
So it's like a 2.5 ERA-ish, something like that. So I do want to give away some Bleacher Bum Band shot glasses because it is the beginning of the year. If you're not using our Amazon search bar, I'm not going to play the commercial because the game's going to start. But if you're not using our Amazon links, go to sunranto.com/Amazon. You should be, because not only do you just buy crap you were going to buy on Amazon anyway, and we get a little kickback. And so like evil Jeff Bezos doesn't get the money, we do. But you could win some Bleacher Bum shot glasses pretty much every month. Sometimes I even throw in an extra thing. And you see that there's a new Prime Day coming up. They're desperate, man. They're doing more Prime, like the 10th, I believe. In a week, they're doing another Prime Day. So look for me to be posting interesting links of shit you can buy that's on sale.
Whoa.
Nothing else to do. But
they gotta completely suck you dry.
Last month, there were 34 items purchased, and you could see that there's a couple of pretty nice items here. There's the plantar fasciitis arch support. Hope your feet get better. Whoever that got that. There's a thick rubber apron, which that sounds kinky. It just does. And then artificial poinsettia, 12 pieces. So getting ready for Christmas.
Getting ready for Christmas.
And I like
the 12-pack of poinsettias.
Yeah, and I like the $1 billion. Look at number 33, $1 billion brows.
Oh,
nice.
Is
that? But anyway,
I've got 1 billion hairs in my eyebrows sometimes, and I really have to trim them down.
Well, there are 34 possible winners of items, and here's how this works. I got a number picker here, and we're going to spin the wheel, and whatever item wins the 1 through 34, whatever item wins, you have to just let me know that was the item that you purchased, and you will win the Bleacher Bum Band shot glasses. So let's give it a spin and see who the winner is from the Amazon search bar. Round and round she goes. Where she stops, only the number picker wheel knows. Number 15 is the winner. Congratulations. I think in the off season we should probably do give shit away on number picker wheel. Don't you think?
But Danny, really you actually have to go back and see what number 15 was.
Yep, I will right now.
Okay.
Number 15. Ooh, it's the pen. I can't even say what that is. Peng Xiaomei, 218 yard, 656 feet, metallic cord, 2 spool, something going on. I don't know. Somebody bought a giant cord, 656 foot. I mean, that's big. That's like a football field worth of cord.
Seriously, you could wrap it around the field.
Yeah, whoever's trying to steal power from their neighbors, please let us know who won.
Well, now he's
running that through the woods and shit. he's getting the neighbor on the other side of his neighbor just so that they won't know.
I gotta go over top of redwood. You don't understand.
That's a hell of a cord. So congratulations on really everything that's going on with you, sir. Yeah, announcements. We're going to do the Ranto Roundtable. Hopefully you're around, Billy. We'd love to have you back on Wednesday night. We're just going to talk to everybody we can from 7 to 9 after the game is over. The season will be over. We'll go through, just talk to everybody, see how we're doing, have a couple drinks. It's a longer show, probably go from 7 to 9-ish or something like that. So we'll have a good time. I've decided that Cubs caroling is going to be December 17th. So save that date. I will make very shortly a Facebook invite. Maybe I'll even do an evite for this one because it's going to be really fun. This time I made it so that we're not butting up against T-Box, the crazy bar crawl where basically
that's good.
Yeah, young people with fake IDs barf all over Wrigley
boy.
Village, at the suits dressed like elves.
Yikes.
So that's going to be December 17th. The T-Box is the weekend before. So I made sure that I didn't fuck that up this year like I did last year. And I also want to invite everybody to come see The Ugly One at Trapdoor Theater. This will be the third weekend of the show. It runs for 3 more weekends after this. It's been selling really well. So get your tickets now. It definitely will sell better. It's trapdoortheater.com where you can get your tickets. Theater spelled with an R-E. And it's really cool. It's about a guy who's the ugliest man in the world. And he has plastic surgery to make sure that he's not the ugliest person in the world. And all hell breaks loose from there. And our Cardinals fan friend, Dennis, is the lead. So you'll enjoy his performance.
Oh, fun.
So go see him and support freaking independent theater because you just should. I think that's it as far as announcements go.
Well, I need everyone to root for a sweep of the Tigers of the Mariners. And then I need the Blue Jays to also sweep. So that way the Mariners have to go to Cleveland. Then I can go see my Seattle Redlegs in person in the playoffs this weekend. Yeah,
it's true. That's who you did a lot of trading with. So you've got, who's over there right now that you...
There is 7 ex-Reds on the Seattle Mariners.
Winker
Good
is over
gosh.
there.
Winker, Suarez, Castillo, Kirk Casale, Travis Jankowski,
Rosie, Zipper, whatever those guys' names are.
yeah.
Gapper.
We traded Rosie. Shit, now I'm just breaking stuff in my studio for that. But yeah, so if that happens, I will be in Cleveland this weekend.
Awesome. Well, and I will be in Cincinnati next weekend, so hopefully we can hang out a little bit. I guess there's a big festival in town too. So
Yeah, man, it's wild. It's called Blink. It's like they turn all of downtown over the Rhine and Covington into a giant light display. Like artists from across the world come in and build these installations and
Oh, cool.
projections. It's a madhouse, but it's super fun.
very cool. Well, I definitely want to get my Sky Rosa on. See that we're having our me and Nicole having an engagement party. Hopefully, you can stop by that a little bit.
Of course.
Grab a drink with us, and yeah, it's. I mean, the off season's about to begin for both of our teams, and it's I don't know, Michael. Do you have any dog in the playoff fight?
No, we talked about this a little bit. You got a little bit of the sentimental for Cleveland just because they've got the longest drought right now. And well, unless you count the Seattle, like never doing it, but they've got the longest drought and the Cubs beat them. So there's a little bit of sentimental there. But then for me, everybody hates it, but I say Dodgers because I want all these fucking asshole owners to see that's how you run the team. You do it the Dodger way, not the fucking Tampa Bay Ray. Tampa Bay Ray.
That works.
I got lost.
It worked.
But not that way, but it's kind of weird because like Danny said, Cleveland has like a $30 million payroll. And if they're in the World Series versus the Dodgers, who have like a $260 million payroll, it won't really matter. Like the whole idea of, the Dodgers doing it right away will get thrown out the window.
Well, you should be pulling for the Padres. They have the same market size as us. Here's what they have the same market size as us, and they went out and they spent money and they shut their window down and said it's this season or next season and really went for it. So, like, if you want to show people how to do it, instead of just throwing money at a problem, you decide and you look at your strengths, your weaknesses, and you just go for it. So that's me.
Well, anybody that's spending money and going and actually trying is definitely doing better than either one of our teams right now. Because, the way the Cubs are ending this season, they might not be as many pieces away from contention than we might have thought at some point, lower points of this season. But I mean, I don't think any of us really can ever trust young pitching to repeat. Nope. Especially when you have like more, I think, high floor guys and your Keegan Thompsons and your Justin Steeles and stuff. Then you have like this like elite, maybe blow out your arm talent, because nobody's dialing it up there 97, 98, 99. Like these are all just pitchers that have to pitch really well and locate really well and spin it up there really well in order to succeed. And they don't have like the super, aggressive talent that some guys have. And maybe that's okay. Hashtag Chance. We're giving away one more thing, and that's a Frank Chance postcard. A Facebook user says, "Come on, guys, game's on. Wrap it up." I gotta watch this McKinstry at bat. Well, guess what? He got out. 101 miles per hour from Hunter Green. Just struck out Quiros, so that shouldn't be a surprise. We don't even know if Quiros is gonna be on the team next year. If he is, something went wrong because he wasn't supposed to be on the team this year either.
No,
because we're down Madrigal still. Otherwise, McKinstry wouldn't be here. McKinstry struck out, Quiros struck out. So yeah, I can't wait to get to this game.
To be fair, at this point, I'd rather have Quiros than Madrigal.
I'd rather have Quiznos. I'm hungry.
Look, I got something funny to say about the Nick Madrigal. Is that I had two at the Bleacher Bum Band show. The way we let everybody in free to the show, And the way we make money is by Crawley. And shout out to Crawley for selling raffle tickets for us. We give away raffles of fun stuff. We had a Ron Coomer signed baseball. We had a couple of Nick Magical bobbleheads. We had Bleacher Bum Band chocolates. We're giving them away in the raffle throughout the show. Well, we give away both Nick Magical bobblehead, and at the end of the night, packing up all the stuff. And I'm like, oh no, there's the Nick Magical bobblehead. They left it. They're like, no, they didn't want it, and they gave it back. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Checks out.
Right.
So now,
They put money down, got a ticket, won, and they're still like, fuck this.
fuck that. I'd rather. Yeah, that's not winning at all. So we're just gonna have to up the ante, I think, as far as prizes go. But hey, it's slim pickings. The Cubs gave it to us, and we're trying to give it to somebody else. Nobody freaking wants it. So let's we got some TFCs, I'm sure. Do you have anything, Michael?
I didn't screenshot anything, but I have one. If you want to go, I'll pull it up.
Well,
and then
I
can
thought
read
this was pretty funny. This was from in the Cubs dugout. Fran Mil Reyes put up in the Cubs dugout in masking tape, or it looks like maybe like a athletic tape. He put, it looks like 9 different pieces of tape where he blocked off a piece of the dugout for himself, where it says in individual pieces of tape, no Morel, no Velasquez, only arrow down Fran Mill area. And just like, just took control of the situation there in the Cubs dugout. Fran Mill seems like a really fun guy for the team, like a real party clown, almost like reminds me of what was his name? The guy from Japan. That was a lot of fun. Only monkeys don't get cramps guy. Remember him? Kawasaki.
Yeah.
Well,
what it reminds me of is Bleacher Jeff getting real upset if anybody sits in his seat.
Yeah, you're like, dude, the dugout is general admission. Sorry, assigned seats. All right, so what do you got? I got another one too, though.
Okay, so I posted a picture out there on Twitter of the potluck up in the bleachers during the last game, right before the last game. And I've gotten a ton of people checking in on it, looking at it. And actually, a lot of people have been zooming in on certain parts of the picture to see different stuff. And Evan Ferrari zooms in and posts that there was a bag of peanuts in a White Sox bag. You know, like the branded peanuts you can get outside the games.
Yeah.
But it was in a White Sox bag, and he put like a little emoji with the eyes up. And then Kyle Moose says, those are the peanuts with extra salt, which pissed off a bunch of White Sox fans. And then the White Sox fans started chiming in like, oh, we don't have room for all that shit. And, you know, we've got people at our games and like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh, man. They're just proving what the joke was in the first place is how salty they're. Just like, you idiots. Like, it's like when those fans that are at the game, like in the playoffs, and then they're sad because their team's gonna lose and go home, and like their magical season's over, and they will always find the saddest fan. Like when the Cubs played the Cleveland Indians in 2016, I mean, there were just some amazingly sad people dressed up racistly, like Native Americans with painted faces, just crying. And it was cracking me up because I was warning all the Cub fans as much as I possibly could on Bleed Cubby Blue on Twitter. I'm like, don't be that guy. They'll find you. If you're crying in the stands, they will find you, and you will be made fun of by the other team's fans for the rest of your life. And it's up to you. Just don't look sad at the game if you're there. And White Sox fans can't hide their freaking disgust. Yeah. Even last year at the playoffs, I went to their last game of the season when they lost to the Astros, and they were bitching about Cub fans. They were making gay jokes about troughs in the bathroom at their own playoff game. I'm like, bitch, we are at home. We are not playing right now. You guys are in a playoff game and you have a chance to do better, but you just can't. You just can't forget about us. Rent free.
Man, yeah, it is.
It is. So, well, hashtag chance in the chat. You have a chance to win a Frank Chance postcard sent to you by me with a message of hope and doom. And I will, they're ordered. The postcards are coming. So I'm just waiting for them at this point. So I'm going to share my screen real quick and we're going to get that. A lot of giveaways today. I enjoy it. I swear to God, that's what we're going to do all off season.
Giveaways that's what I call the Reds bullpen.
Yeah, you might actually get that home run record. You're definitely gonna get the walks record. That's for sure. You already got that like locked up, unless some team just walks everybody and you stop walking people. But all right, here we go. Let's draw it up. Oh, and the winner is Everett Yoakum III. Congratulations, you are the winner. If you were here, I'd let you yodel about it because you're a hell of a yodeler, my friend. Yeah, Everett participates in our conversations in Twitter Spaces and is a really top-notch yodeler. So, and also the winner of today's chance. So, congratulations. Now, I guess that's the show. It's bottom of the first now, just in case you were wondering, and it's nobody's reached base in the game. So
you haven't missed anything except for Hunter Green being good, I guess.
Yeah, he struck out 3 so far against the Cup.
Just get used to that. He's going to be good for a long time.
Yeah, and so far it looks like Friedel bounced out. So
that checks out.
Little play-by-play.
Makes sense.
That's so I'm gonna first I'm gonna play the Bleacher Bum Band performing on Saturday. It's One Out Closer to a Beer. I just grabbed that tune out of the video that I took, and then I will play the minute 15 video of me chopping the cup snake in half with the giant hand. Shout out once again to pretty much a lot of people. Bertie Barron for hooking me up with a little something yesterday. I got the cup snake hand. Michael, I had to have fun with you catching all those games. Crawley for selling all those raffle tickets. The Bleacher Bum Band. Everybody that showed up to that concert. I mean, it was just a really fun weekend, and I'm exhausted. My throat hurts. I can't even talk anymore. So we should end this, and I'll save my voice for Wednesday when we'll see everybody for the Ranto Roundtable, which I saw in the chat. Dominic Galoro, he said only 2 hours for the roundtable. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to think. Hopefully, that maybe I won't go 4 or 5 hours like we tend to do at those shows where we get off the rails real quick, but it might happen. We don't know. And then we're into the playoffs. So here's One Out Closer to a Beer. Then it's me chopping cup snakes, and then we'll see you all on Wednesday. But Billy, thanks. It's been an awesome year talking to you about all this shit too. So I had a good time.
Of course, love doing it, man.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Yeah. So
thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. Oh, you got anything?
Yeah, thanks for coming on, especially after a weekend like this. To be so gracious as to come on and not just be like, fuck you guys.
Nah. I have anything to plug. I have a cold. It sucks. Not at the moment. I don't. Just keep on the lookout for, we're going to be making another Sky Rosa video, but this time I've made a new food creation with C. Trent Rosecrans from The Athletic. We'll be doing that on the last game of the year. And if the Mariners get swept, just keep your eyes peeled for me in Cleveland.
Yeah, hit up the t-shirts.
Oh, intheclutch.com. Check it out. We've got a bunch of awesome MLBPA stuff. And especially with the playoffs coming, well, those won't be for the playoffs, but they are pretty freaking awesome. Cup Snake or Die is Stack or Die, sorry, is pretty great.
It's on sale too. It's only $20 right now.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
And
Come on.
If you use code, what is our code? It's just Son Ranto, I think.
Yeah, Son Ranto, you get 10% off.
Yeah. I'll drop that link in the chat actually right now. So
yeah, definitely check that out. We're gonna have some cool stuff for the playoffs. Well, the Mariners, dude. The Mariners bullpen. Got one of our shirts, and all the dudes wore it. Matt Brash wore it in a post-game interview and then exploded.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what happened, with Joe and Obvious shirts. It's like, just a couple people started wearing it, and then
Mhm.
then the fans saw that, and then they bought it, and then it just kind of rolled and rolled and rolled, and he kept working and kept working
Yeah.
hard. So,
Yeah,
then,
and we made a Chippendale shirt for the Dodgers boys that all dressed up, and we should be getting that picture this week. So
awesome.
that's pretty freaking
Cool.
rad too.
Yeah, hell yeah. So it's a tough year for the Reds, good year for you and t-shirts, but what can you do?
It was expected, so whatever. You have to build it back. You have to tear it all down just to tear it all down again.
Build back better. I believe
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Build back better. And at the end of these games, when our pitcher Brandon Hughes is pitching against you at the end of the game, where I'll be screaming, "Let's go, Brandon!"
Oh, great.
I know that. Just
Yeah.
can't figure out how to end this show, so I'm just doing stupid shit now. So
All right.
we'll see y'all. We'll see y'all next time. See y'all Wednesday. Spagog.
Go. Spagog.
The game's been made, the double you get down. My brother is on and the vendors have moved on. I hate when they disappear. So find the guns
the cop snake. Chop that snake! Chop that snake! Chop that snake! Chop that snake! Chop it, Daddy! Chop it! Do it! Do it! Good! Chop it again! Chop it again! Hey, Danny! Oh! Harder! Harder! Oh! Just punch the guy home!